And new at 6, a panel of 11 federal judges in San Francisco heard a case that could change the immigration system.
KPIX 5 political reporter Melissa Caen was in the courtroom for us today. Melissa?
I certainly was, and I'm glad I got there early, too, because it was standing room only in there. The big question today, do undocumented children appearing before an immigration judge have the right to a lawyer paid for by U.S. taxpayers?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
The federal judges grilled attorneys on both sides of the case.
It would be constitutionally required to appoint counsel.
You seem to suggest that in your reply.
Never. So
Scott Stewart for the government.
the difficulty is that you'd like to establish a broader principle.
Arilan Arulantham for the immigrants' rights groups.
There was obviously a lot of hard questions for us, but also a lot of hard questions for the government.
It all started in 2014.
CJ came to the United States. He was only 13 years old when he arrived at the border with his mother.
One of CJ's attorneys, Talia Inlander, says he came to the U.S. to escape gangs in Honduras.
He fled several days after being threatened by gangs at gunpoint, that if he didn't join the gang, he would have a day to decide. If he didn't join, he would be killed.
CJ and his mother crossed the border illegally, but were caught and removal proceedings began.
He appeared at every single one of his court hearings without a lawyer.
In immigration cases, people have a right to an attorney if they can pay for it, or an attorney that will work for free, but they don't have a right to a government-funded attorney. CJ's lawyers want to change that.
We want a ruling that children facing deportation are entitled to legal representation.
CJ's lawyers say the cost to taxpayers to provide an attorney to all children facing deportation would be $2,700 per case. And according to the Department of Homeland Security, in 2016 alone, over 100,000 juveniles were apprehended at the border. If all of them got lawyers, that would add up to $276 million per year. A prior ruling in this case said mandating free court-appointed counsel could further strain an overextended immigration system. Now, in California, there are government-funded resources. In this year's state budget, for example, there's $58 million to pay for lawyers to represent people in immigration proceedings. And local governments also set aside money for immigration. Counties like San Francisco and Alameda both have immigration units as part of their public defenders' offices.
All right.
All right, Melissa, thank you.
Thanks, Melissa.